What is going on, everybody? Welcome to today's video. This is just a continuation of the last video. I just didn't have enough time to get everything done, so I'm just gonna jump right into it. This was 2 pieces. I fiberglassed it, did a little bit of filler. This had a big crack all the way across here and like down into here even too. So fiberglass that, both sides, and started doing some filler. So basically all I gotta do is a little skim coat up here for this. And then same thing over here, basically, just to smooth this out a little bit. Then just sand it and kind of take care of some cracks. There's a little bit of splitting, like gel coat and stuff. But then mainly just sand it. And then go to that bumper. Somebody backed into something and push this in, push that out, and then all the paint is cracked. So gotta get that off, but not a big deal. So hopefully this won't take too long. And then I can bring everything to work, all the bumpers, side skirts, and just prime everything. I'm just gonna do it at work because, I don't know, it's a mess in here and it's kind of a pain to like set everything up and then take everything back down. Also, I don't even have really enough stands to do it. So anyways, that is what we're doing. So by the end of this video, we'll be able to see the whole body kit on the car. It's gonna be black, matching the car. And then I would really like to like put it on the ground, take it off the dollies, and then like drive it outside and just walk around it and look at it. And I think that's gonna be pretty sick because it's been a while since it's been like together in one color. Actually, it's never been one color really since I owned it. But anyways, that's what I'm gonna do. Basically just gonna get into it with this right now. So now you can see this, like this is super like nasty looking, just extremely like rough, but it's such a hard area to apply the filler to, like, because this is like concave and then this is actually convex. I don't know, it's hard to see, and there's just so many little nooks and crannies, like, so it looks really bad, but probably 75% of that's gonna get sanded off. There's just no way to like nicely smooth this out other than using your finger. I guess I gotta use my finger in here, but whatever. So I'm just gonna sand that. Should be good. That took way too long, but it's pretty good. It's gonna be good enough for where it is on the car and everything. But obviously there's a lot of pinholes. I'll have to go back and fix those. It's not a big deal. When I filled this, I put the filler on here. I just filled in like the hole for the hardware. You see, it's supposed to be like this round recessed area that the like screw sits in. So I re-drilled the hole because you can see that from the back. But now to get that, I'm gonna use this screw, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put it in, like screw it in until it's touching. It's not flat though, right? It's like that. So I'm gonna put it in until it touches over here. And then I'm basically just gonna trace with a pencil around it because they are a little bit bigger than this, you can see. Yeah, I'll trace around it, and then I'll basically just take the Dremel and just really carefully like go around in a circle and shave it into there a little bit, because obviously it's gonna be deeper over there than over here, just like this side. So it's gonna have a tall shoulder in there and then shallow out here. So it's gonna be kind of tricky, but that's what I gotta do. So it's not perfect, but I think that's about as good as I'm gonna be able to get it with what I'm working with here. So now I'm gonna go to that area, get that all done. Then I'll just go back and fix the pinholes and then sand everything, which is really gonna suck because it's a lot of shapes and weird areas to get into. So that's all good now. The only thing is there's 2 holes here, and I'm pretty sure that only using this one. But I'm just gonna mount this back on the bumper real quick just to double check with that, and also to double check this area. I had to grind quite a bit of it away, so I wanna make sure it still fits the bumper nice. And then that's completely done. Just gotta, I think I gotta fill the big hole. Pretty sure I drilled that one. So yeah, we'll just see that on the bumper in 2 seconds. So there it is on there. It actually doesn't fit too bad. Looks pretty good. And it turns out I do have to fill the big hole. I don't know. I might just cut this. I'll just cut that right off. Just don't really need it. Maybe match it with the bumper. Yeah, so you can see now that just flows in with the bumper. I actually had to cut a little bit of the bumper off, but not a big deal. You'll never notice that. But I just like how it's like a nice continuous line pretty much. Sweet. Okay, so hopefully you're gonna be able to see like the plastic moving and stuff, but I don't know, I can't really tell. So basically what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna heat up like this whole area up top here pretty much. And then I'm just gonna take my hammer and just kind of like push it in. You'll see it'll get really like malleable, and it'll just get really soft, and I'll be able to push it in no problem. Hopefully, anyways, that's the idea. Okay, so now, I mean, you can see it's messed up just from like pushing it with a hammer, and like the paint was all cracked, and once you heat it up, it kind of starts lifting it, but that's all gotta be stripped off anyways before we can start doing the body work to it. So it's not a big deal. This is now a little bit low instead of being high, so that's perfect. And yeah, there's a little, you can see the marks here and then down there as well. So I think I'm gonna flip it on its back and then heat it up from inside and just kind of push those out just a little bit, and then I'll just have to basically do a little skim of the white putty. Because you don't want to use, well, even the white putty technically shouldn't be used on plastic bumpers. There is like a special, I don't know what material it is, but that is good for the plastic because it really flexes and stuff. But I've never had an issue using the white stuff on it, and so I'm going to use that, but not the gold body filler because that'll probably crack. But this will be fine, and yeah, then we'll get some sanding going on. Then I'm going to have to sand off all up here too. You can see it's all cracked. I don't know if you can see it, but it's all cracked. So that's got to come right back down to bare plastic. All this area be bare plastic. And then just scuff the rest of it. This is all sanded now. This looks really excessive, but like I said, the paint was all cracked up here and like all the way out to here, this whole edge. So you got to get rid of that. So now what I'm gonna do is just put a coat right over like where the damage was, in the like the main damage, and then put a little coat here and down here, and then I'll block that. But then I'll probably have to do one more coat just to like then feather it out even further. But I'm just gonna put a little coat in on the damage first, and the second one will be like over it all, and then it should be done. Like, it feels really good. So I'm gonna mix up some white putty and slick that. So that actually really doesn't feel too bad, but it's super hard to tell because like now this is really smooth and your hand slides on it nice and easy, but this is raw plastic, so it's like it's got that like fuzzy feeling. So just like the difference from each is kind of hard to tell if it's low still. This down here is definitely fine, and in this body line that's good. I think I'm gonna just do another slick up here and then this flat part here, because that's like the bulk of what you see anyways. So that's what I'll do there. Second coat that, and then be done with the body work and just sand it. Okay, so this is 100% sanded now. I just went around and did all the edges and stuff. I'm gonna load all this stuff up now and take it to work and just prime it there. Next time you see this stuff, it will be primed black, and then we're gonna put it on the car. So that's gonna be cool. Hopefully I can fit all this stuff in the back of the truck. The front bumper is pretty big, and so is the back bumper, but I think it'll be fine. We'll figure it out. Everything is loaded up. It's in the back of the truck. I kind of had to pile everything on top of each other, so I'm really hoping that it's not gonna like chip it or anything by the time I get there from like the truck bouncing and vibrating and stuff. So we'll see, but it's only like a 10-minute drive, so it should be fine. Okay, so it's all primed. You can see it. Actually, it looks like it came out pretty good. Everything, really. And here, this is where that big crease was. Nice and straight, where I had to join it. That's pretty good. The only thing that kind of sucks is these side skirts. But I kind of expected that because there's so much body work done to them. And I didn't really double prime them. I just primed them one time, so there's a bunch of pinholes, but I can fix those fairly easily, so not a huge deal. But yeah, so tomorrow I'll bring these home and I'll be able to put them all in the car, put everything on the car, and that's gonna be super cool. I'm super pumped. I got everything back home now. I got the car kind of out in the middle. I got side skirts and everything. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put the diffuser onto the bumper, the back bumper, get that set up. And then I think I'm gonna put the car right on the ground because I wanna see it like sitting on the ground, not on the dollies. I was gonna pull it outside, but the battery is dead and literally no other cars in here have a battery. And it's also muddy outside because it's like really nice out and everything is melted. So I'm probably not gonna end up pulling it outside, but I'm gonna put it on the ground and then put all the pieces on it. So we'll get a look at it. Hopefully the battery has enough juice that I can get the top down, because that would be ideal. And then that'll kind of lead us into what I'm gonna be working on next once I get the top down. I'm gonna get this thing on the ground and then start throwing parts on it. Car is on the ground now, but I just put this thing, like the diffuser, onto the bumper, and it actually looks pretty cool. So obviously this hardware will be not silver when I'm all done, but I'm really curious to see how these look on the car. If they're gonna stick out like crazy, I think I'm gonna cut them off and end up like redoing all that body work, but I think it'll be worth it if it doesn't look right. So I want to make sure that it's going to look okay. So I'm going to stick it on the car, and then I'll put the side skirts on, and then put the front bumper on, and then we'll take a look. So I'm actually really pumped with how this looks. I think it looks pretty good. Overall, you get the idea. I think that actually looks pretty good with the side skirt, because the side skirt kind of has like a little flare out with the little vent. So I think that matches up pretty good. The only thing that I'm not super pumped about is how simple the front bumper is now, which is my own fault, but I just think that how it was would have been way too much, and it didn't fit good. It didn't look good. Like the back was tipped way down, so this is now at least level and it looks good with the rest of the kit. I might try and add like, I don't know, a little like eBay canard or something on there just to kind of get something going on, but I think this looks really good. I just put the taillights in, as you can see. I'm super pumped though. This is pretty cool. We're like really close to being able to paint this thing. Once I get that top down, I can't right now because the battery is dead. So I'm gonna try and go maybe Canadian Tire or something, get a battery charger, and then get that roof down, and then we can talk about what I've been talking about this whole time. Some, you know, custom thing I wanna build. So do that, and I guess we'll see you when we get this top down. Okay, so it is, I think, the next day now. I bought a battery charger, charged the battery, got the top down, so now we can actually see what it's gonna look like, and man, I'm so pumped. It looks so much better with the top down. I mean, it always kind of did, but I love this thing. I'm really happy with how this looks. I would really like to take it outside and look at it, but it was like 70 2 days ago, and now it's like 40, and there's a big storm coming through. So all we get to do is look at it in here, which kind of sucks. But so now that the car is like all together and it's all black, we see what it looks like. That is all like done, right? So all I have to do now is just sand the body kit and then like block the car out. Basically take the doors off, take the hood off, take the trunk off, paint inside, then put everything back on, paint the whole car, and it's done as far as like that part goes. So now that it's at that stage, what I want to do, and this is what I've been talking about for like weeks now, something I think is pretty cool. I've been thinking about doing this for like over a year probably, but certain cars, and I don't know, I'll try and put up a picture if I can figure out how to put up a picture. Some manufacturers with the convertible models, they have like a speedster top, kind of like a convertible tonneau cover that covers the rear. I think like 350Zs have them, like a C5 Corvette convertible also like has that style. A bunch of old cars like Thunderbirds, stuff like that, kind of have the same thing. And I think you can buy them for Mustangs. It was like a Celine type thing. And that's actually like where I got the idea from. I have a little red model of like a 95 Celine Mustang that I built, or my dad built, and whatever. I've always liked it, and I just think it's really cool. So obviously nobody makes anything like that for this car because they only made 1,000 of them. So there's really like no specific Varietta parts other than like floor mats or whatever. So there's no spoilers because the trunk's totally different, and then this thing is just like whatever. It's just like a cool option, and obviously they never made it. So what I want to do is try and figure out if I can make one. And now that it's all tore apart, I have to figure out a way to basically, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to build a frame and then basically like make a fiberglass shell and then kind of like bond them together, and that way I can bolt it to somewhere. I don't know if I'm going to have to leave this top panel off or not. I'm not too sure. Like I said, I haven't really figured it out yet. This is the first time I'm like actually considering it because I've done everything and I got the roof down and I can actually see kind of what needs to be done and what I can do, what I can't do type thing. So I'm still trying to figure it out, but this is the idea anyways. You see the top of the trunk is like goes up. So what I want to do is I basically want to follow the trunk and then kind of go up, obviously like not that high, but go up to the back seats and then like down and have like the double hump. Have like the double hump thing like behind the seats. And then all of this will be covered and paint to match the body. So what I want to do, I think I'm gonna have to remove this piece, which it moves, like it pops up when you put the roof down and it kind of fills that space. So I think I'm gonna have to remove that, and then I'll be able to make the thing kind of like tuck in under the trunk. And that's another part of this. I'm gonna have to make it in 2 pieces. That way I can take it off, and obviously like the width of the car is way too wide to fit in the trunk. And like if it starts raining or something like that and I have the speedster top on there, I have to take it off. So it's gonna have to be cut in the middle, so it has to be 2 pieces. So that way I can take it off and then put the roof up and then put the cover basically in the trunk. So yeah, there's a lot of things that need to go into this, and that's basically why I wanted to get the whole car done first and then mess with this. And if this ends up not working out, taking way too long, whatever, then I can just kind of, you know, let it sit for a little while and I can get the car painted and then worry about this later. But I would much rather do this when the car is not painted, obviously, because then I'm working around just primer instead of like fresh paint. So I want to get it done. Anyways, that is the plan. So probably in the next video, I'm gonna do a little bit of research and basically look at this thing, do some measurements, whatever. Try and get a game plan, talk to some people. But then in the next video, we should be getting into starting to build that, I hope. I'm hoping to do it this weekend. Not the whole thing, just to start building. It's gonna take a while, so I don't know. I think it'd be really cool though. But hopefully you guys are enjoying this. I think it's really cool to see the car all together now. And I think personally that it looks really good. Let me know what you think. And like, comment, subscribe, keep on watching. I think it's gonna get pretty cool, like with that piece and obviously painting the car and whatever. So from here on out, we should be making some pretty big progress, and it's gonna be cool. So I appreciate you guys watching, and we'll see you in the next one.